Hey, what's up guys, it's Renaldo here. So this video is going to focus on some of the things that Julius Malema said in his speech after the pre-sentencing took place in the East London Magistrates Court. Now, there's no final sentencing that has been made public because that has been postponed until the 15th and 16th of April. But after the pre-sentencing, he made some outlandish statements during his speech, and at the end of this video, I'm going to give you my assessment and my opinion on what I believe his sentencing is going to be, and I'm going to give you the reasons why. Now, before we get into this video, please be sure to subscribe. The overwhelming majority of you that regularly watch my content aren't subscribed, and you can do so by clicking the subscribe button below. It's absolutely free, it won't cost you anything, so please do it. It'll be greatly appreciated. All right, so we all know that Julius Malema had a very long pre-sentencing hearing in East London, and unfortunately the entire day was just a bunch of delays, and then the state witness, which in my opinion gave a really weak assessment of Julius Malema, after she was done, there was no real time to get into the judge reading the outcome, and therefore it has been postponed until the 15th and 16th of April. However, it's quite clear that Julius Malema, after being found guilty of discharging a firearm in a public space and other related charges. In total, there are 5 charges that he's been found guilty of. It's quite clear that he's not remorseful. In actual fact, he's called the judge a racist. He's said some terrible things about the justice system in this country. And then, of course, he went onto the stage and he had the following to say.
In happiness we sing. In sadness we sing. We love singing, because that's how we comfort ourselves. But if you listen to those songs properly, they are actually not songs. Those are war cries. Those carry a message. We are trying to educate through song that people come to understand what the revolution represents.
This is weird though, because remember the court case in which he was asked whether kill the boer, kill the farmer is, you know, an intention to actually commit something, and then his response was it's just a struggle song. Well, here it is a little bit different, because here he's contradicting himself. So his testimony under oath in a court was a blatant lie, and on the stage here he's giving a completely different reason as to why they sing their songs. And the reason this is important is because the obvious song that he always sings.
We are consoling ourselves in song. We hide our pain behind song. We don't sing because we've got no brains. We sing because we want to communicate our deep-seated feelings. And
the reason those things popped up on the screen is so that you can see where he's talking about it here, and then you'll see in Kill the Boer how that is obviously explained.
How we view the world today.
Shoot to kill, Gamaza, kill the poor, the farmer, kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. Attention.
So clearly you can see there that he contradicted himself when he was taken to court by AfriForum for Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer. He said, oh, it's only a struggle song, it's been sung for so many times, there's no real relevance. But then, as you saw with this video now, he clearly indicates as to why people sing songs. So clearly there's a more sinister reason. But I mean, that's not the only thing that he said that contradicts himself. Here's more things.
Because the day the EFF becomes a government in South Africa, we are going to lock up all AfriForum members because they are terrorists, because they are anti-South Africa, they undermine our country and its freedom and its constitution.
There's over 350,000 AfriForum members, and here you have a member of parliament, the leader of the EFF, saying that if his political party comes into power, meaning they become the government of this country, for no reason whatsoever, he'll lock up more than 350,000 people. How can you still defend this man? Mainstream media, How can you still defend Julius Malema? How can anybody in this country defend somebody like this that says when they get into government, they will arrest 350,000 people because they have decided to join a non-profit organization? How does that make any sense whatsoever?
That's why they established Orania when the constitution says,
Poor old Orania, the smallest town that everybody around the world knows about because of Julius Malema. He doesn't talk about the Ngonyama Trust that is exclusively for Zulu, the Zulu kingdom, that can do with the land whatever they want, and they use that to protect their heritage and culture. But the Afrikaner is not allowed to do it on a small portion of land in the middle of nowhere. Go figure.
we must come together. They continue to want to stay alone in isolation of black people. We are not the ANC.
Last time I checked, our constitution gives us that right. Self-determination. It's in our constitution. So what Julius Malema is saying here actually goes against our constitution. And all of this, everything that you've seen right here, took place after the court appearance for his pre-sentencing. Except, of course, the Kill the Boer song that was in a different stadium. But even at the end of this speech over here, they also sang Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer again.
We are not scared of AfriForum. And we are right when we say this is our land. We'll expropriate it without compensation, whether they like it or not. We will nationalize the mines. We will establish the state bank. We'll make sure that the people of South Africa participate in the economy of South Africa without any hesitation.
Okay, so with regards to, everything's idiotic, what he just said, of course, but the fact that he wants to establish a national bank, this after the EFF has been fingered in so many alleged corruption charges for VBS, and a credit card that was linked to VBS that followed Julius Malema all across the country. You know, the VBS bank that obviously went bankrupt and cost tens of thousands of the poorest of the poor to lose their money and their savings and their retirement. And yet here he is wanting to tell you, hey, we're going to start another bank. Well, obviously it's because he wants to get his hands on more funds, right?
The revolution means we must replace white supremacy with the dignity of black people restored in South Africa.
Says the black supremacist, right? The black Adolf Hitler. But okay.
Africa and the world. Donald Trump, whether he likes it or not, his term is coming to an end. And he's going to go to jail unless he does the quickest thing and drink poison.
Yeah, so where to start? Let's start at the end. Julius Malema, a convicted criminal that is literally facing potential jail time for breaking the law on 5 different counts, wants to lecture people on morality. He wants to lecture people on what is right and what is wrong after he himself broke the law and was found guilty of that. The fact that he is saying that Donald Trump needs to drink poison speaks volumes, right? This insignificant leader of a extremist party in the southernmost tip of Africa wanting to lecture a sitting president in the United States about what is right and what is wrong. It's just astounding, but when people say Julius Malema is dumb and then people go, no, he's not dumb, this proves that he's dumb. He doesn't seem to grasp the size of the United States, the power of the United States, and he's clearly blatantly lying to his supporters and followers because he wants them to believe that he has this God complex and he's this God to them, when in actual fact he doesn't have any power whatsoever. And then, of course, the AfriForum statement. The fact that you so blatantly state that if you and your political party get into power, you're going to arrest all AfriForum members. That's 350,000 people that, just like that, what? You're going to arrest and put in jail? And what? For what? Why? because they decided to join an organization and a movement that is allowed under our laws, under our constitution, the freedom of association, Julius Malema. Have you ever heard of that? No, I doubt it. Anyway, he ended off that little saga and that speech with singing "Kill the Boer, kill the farmer," of course, because why not? You can clearly see there's no remorse. You can clearly see that he believes he has been wronged and the court system is out to get him. There's many other things that he said in that hour-long speech that is just like the same Julius Malema bullshit over and over. So what do I think is going to happen to him? Well, a lot of people out there said that they don't believe that he's going to see a single day in jail. And initially I thought the same until I actually wrapped my head around it. And hear me out. The magistrate has been very meticulous in reading out the judgment, allowing for this state witness to come in and give a witness testimony as to who Julius Malema is after interviewing him for 5 hours, as if you can get a holistic picture of a person in 5 hours. But she asked questions, she allowed questions to be asked, and she's doing everything by the book. You all remember when she read out that statement when she was sick, or the verdict rather, when she was sick. It's quite clear that she is making this case airtight so that when it is taken on appeal, the odds of it being successful is not that great. So here's the thing. Because he discharged a firearm in a public space, specifically a semi-automatic or an automatic, in his case it was an assault rifle, there is a mandatory prescribed minimum sentence of 15 years. So that in itself means that this is very serious. And the fact that he was found guilty on 5 counts and has shown no remorse, called the magistrate a racist, says that the judiciary is going after him, I think the following is going to happen. The magistrate is going to give him a sentence of between 5 to 7 years. And the reason I say that is because kind of in the middle of the full 15-year sentence that technically he should be receiving. The reason that the magistrate, in my opinion, is going to do that is because he has already stated that he's going to take this case on appeal all the way up to the Constitutional Court. Now, here's the kicker. When he goes to the appeals court, there's a possibility that, yes, they can reduce the sentence, but there's also the real possibility that they can increase the sentence to the full 15 years. So I believe the magistrate is going to put this in his court to say, I'm not giving you the full sentence. I'm actually giving you a very reasonable sentence of between 5 to 7 years, and you can take it on appeal if you want to, but then you're running the risk of that being increased to 15 years. Now, whether his legal team is going to advise him accordingly, we'll only be able to find that out once we see the appeals papers being filed. But I believe that the magistrate has been playing 4D chess with Julius Malema and the EFF, and I believe that she's going to come in hard. A lot of people aren't thinking for a jail term, but I believe that she's going to go 5 to 7 years and then say, may the odds be in your favor if you take this on appeal. Because yes, there could be no prison time, or they can just implement the full 15 years. And the reason for that is because of the mandatory minimum sentence that I told you about earlier, but also the fact that he blatantly lied to the court. He could have admitted that it was a real firearm. He didn't. He hasn't shown any remorse. He's been arrogant. He's not been a very cooperative witness. And also the things that he said after, the case and the verdict about the judge, about the court system. This is clearly a case where Julius Malema doesn't realize that this time it's not going to work out the way that he thinks it has always worked out for him in the past. So I can't wait for the 15th of April. I hope that everybody is excited as I am, because finally, I believe that justice will be served. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think he's going to see prison time? If so, how long? And if you don't think he is, tell me why you say that. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to smash that like button, share this video far and wide. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Remember, it's absolutely free. However, if you'd like to contribute financially to this channel, you can then consider becoming a member by clicking the join button below, and you can just click on the see perks to see what benefits that gives you. And that's all I got to say, everybody. Till later, cheers and peace out.
You my massacre. You don't even know me, that everybody see you say, my massacre, my massacre. You don't even know me, that everybody see you say, my massacre, my massacre.